Ladies and gentlemen, on today on the Insight, we've got Johnny Fenwick. Johnny, what's good, man?
I'm good, bro. Good. Thanks for having me on.
No, for sure. For the people that don't know you, just give us a little brief introduction on yourself, innit?
Yeah, well, obviously we played together. So I kind of went on a similar path to yourself. From England, so I'm from Newcastle. Played academy over there. Played for Sheffield Wednesday, and then after that, kind of didn't know what to do next. So went to college in America. Had 4 great years there. Graduated from college, and then moved on to San Antonio. That's how we kind of got close, and then now I'm in Vegas. So yeah, enjoying football, and yeah, that's pretty much me.
Yeah, man. How are you doing like during quarantine? If we like push it back in it, because you're obviously in England for quarantine, right?
Yeah. I was. So I kind of how it worked out is I signed for Vegas in January, and obviously part of that I had to figure out my visa. So I went home to try and get that sorted, and during that time the travel ban was put in place. So
Yeah.
I ended up being stuck back home, which was kind of nice though, because I only really get to spend Christmas with my family normally. So it was like 3 months with my family. So it was really cool to hang out with my parents a bit more and see my brother. So yeah, and my friends obviously, and just kind of chill out back home. So that was nice, but I was always thinking like I want to get back to work. I want to get back to playing football, and I was excited about going back to Vegas and seeing what that was all about. But thankfully, I got back out eventually, and now I'm playing football. So like, I'm just grateful that I'm out here playing, because a lot of people had it a lot worse. People losing jobs, and God knows what. So it was tough for a lot of people. So yeah, I kind of had it easy, I guess. I'm back here playing football, so can't really complain.
True. How were you staying motivated during quarantine, innit? Because like you
Yeah,
already signed and stuff, but like you didn't know whether you were gonna go back or not.
yeah, it was tough. I kind of had a little bit of an injury at the time as well.
Okay.
Nothing too serious, but had a similar kind of issue. Obviously, yours was way more severe with the Achilles. I had a problem with my Achilles too.
Oh yeah, you did mention
Yeah,
that though.
yeah. When I was texting you, yeah, and it was tough. So I can't imagine how it was like for you. So I couldn't really get out and run and stuff. So I had to like do like kettlebell workouts and like bodyweight workouts to try and keep myself taking over. But it's just tough, when you're training by yourself. It's hard to really push yourself and
Yeah.
motivate yourself. You can't really push yourself as hard as you would when you're with the team. You know what I mean? You can't really replicate that.
Yeah.
So it was hard to motivate myself through those times. But I also had that like goal of like going back to Vegas. I always thought like this is why I'm working hard for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, in some respects it was difficult, but I always had that angle. So yeah, I was always pushing for that.
No, that's good. So let's run it back to when you first started playing. How did it start? Who brought you in? Like, where was it? Like, run us in.
You mean like from scratch, like from day one?
Yeah, from day one, man.
Yeah. I mean, from the start, I guess like my dad was the one that pushed me into it. My dad's football mad. My whole
Yeah.
family football mad. So me and my brother like kind of started playing out just for the like local team. Would have been about like 7, maybe 6, 7 year old.
Yeah.
And I always played with my brother. He was a few years older than me. So I always like to try and like compete with those older lads, and that kind of pushed me on. I was really competitive with my brother.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where I get my competitive edge from. So got a passion for it. But yeah, I started out local boys club, and then I signed for Newcastle Academy when I was like 9. And I spent a few years there. I got released at under 14. I enjoyed that. That was cool. Obviously playing for Newcastle. That's where I'm from.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was nice to wear the badge. Like I'm Newcastle mad. I like love the club. So that was nice. But yeah, unfortunately that didn't work out. I left at 14, and then I joined Wallsend Boys Club, which is a really good boys club. Like it's pretty much the next best thing when
Okay.
you get released from academy. Like a lot of lads that got released from academies went to that boys club, and we competed. We like played against academies in Scotland,
Okay.
and this and stuff. You know what I mean? So like a lot of time, we tested ourselves against those clubs, and we were like in the shop window kind of. So I got interest from a few academies when I was 15, 16. And then I got the opportunity to go to Sheffield Wednesday because we played them down at their place.
Okay.
They liked what they saw. They invited me back for a few weeks. And then I done well. And then they were like, yeah, we want to take you on as a scholar. So that was nice, to kind of get back into it, and in that dream kind of like, I was like, all right, it's back on, you know what I mean? Like, because I got the disappointment of being released at 14 from the team that I supported as a kid. It was a real hard thing to take. So when I was 16 and I was like, here we go again, you know what I mean? I can kind of still make it as a footballer. So that was nice. I spent 2 years there as a scholar. And then at the end of my scholarship, they offered me a 1-year pro deal. So I signed that, which was good, but I guess I just didn't really push on from there. It was difficult because, I'm training with the first team, and it's like men's football. And to be honest, looking back on it now, I probably wasn't really ready for it. I was a bit young, like I wasn't kind of fully developed at that time, and mentally it was a tough ask for me as well. I was pretty hard on myself, so I just don't think I was quite ready at the time. I think technically and stuff, and tactically, like I was there, but those other parts, like the physical attributes, I guess I didn't quite have yet. I was competing with lads like in my position as a centre back that were like 6'5".
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
And I was just like, I knew I wasn't really going to get a look in. I think if I had maybe a few years there, maybe like 2-3 years, then I could have maybe pushed on, but it wasn't to be. And then after Wednesday, it was again really tough to take. I was talking about when I got released from Newcastle, it was hard to take. I think it was even worse after I get released from Sheffield, because it was like, I'm 19 now. This is all I thought I was going to be, a footballer. That's like your identity, you know what I mean? Like that's what everybody knows you for, like this footballer who's going to make it, and it just kind of come to a standstill. So that was hard, really tough to take. I ended up trialing a few different clubs, and again didn't work out. I ended up playing non-league, and I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. You know what non-league's like, like back in England, just kind of like Route 1. Everyone's just like launching the ball. There's no football played, and I just didn't really enjoy it that much. So I ended up stopping playing for a little bit. I stopped playing, and then I just got a normal job. I was like working in foot asylum. Yeah, bro, I worked in foot asylum for a bit. I just kind of like, I guess I fell out of love with football. I was just like, I'm kind of, over this.
Yeah, talk more about that, like in terms of like the identity part, because I think that happens for a lot of like kids who like, you go through the academy or whatever, you go through a scholarship, and like that's all you know. You leave school and everybody knows that you're going to play football, but then when it doesn't work out and you're 19, 18, you're thinking like, what do I do now? Like it can be like a confusing part, isn't it?
Definitely. I think, like you say, like school's kind of an afterthought, you know what I mean? When you're like going through high school, like I graduated high school, but it was just like, I always thought I'm going to be a footballer, and kind of put that in the back burner. Didn't really care about it that much. So it was definitely difficult when I went to college for the first time. That was like, that was tough. But anyway, getting back to the point you're talking about, like that identity, that's all you're known for. That's what all your friends know you for. That's all you focused on for so long. And then for that to be like taken away from you, and there's no real plan B. I felt like maybe at Wednesday they probably could have done a little bit better job of pointing me in a different direction. You know what I mean? Like maybe help me at a different club, or give me opportunities elsewhere. Maybe even if it wasn't in football, in something else, in coaching or something that kind of like was pushed aside. I kind of just like fell off the conveyor belt, if you like, and just like into the pit of every other 19-year-old, 18-year-old lad doesn't make it as pro in England.
What league was Sheffield in at the time?
Championship.
Championship. Yeah, because I was talking to one of my friends who was at Luton, and he was saying how like some of the bigger teams, it is legit like a conveyor belt, like your Arsenal and stuff. If you're not cutting the grade at that time, then like next man's in, so they don't really give you time to to grow, as you said. If you had maybe 2-3 more years, like, you would have been good. But whereas at that point, it's kind of just
yeah. So I mean, I've said it a few times now, but yeah, it was tough to take, really, really tough, because I didn't have anything lined up. You know what I mean? And it was like, what now? So I'm just like back at home with my parents, and just like going from like being on the brink of the first team and like maybe making a few squads for the FA Cup. That was like, you know, they were talking to me like, you might get in, and I was like, this is starting to become a reality. And then that to then nothing, and like you don't have anything going for you anymore. It's like you're no longer this footballer. So it's tough for a lot of lads in England. I think in England especially. You know, it's something that I think needs to be addressed. Just in the academy system, I think they could do a better job with helping lads out that don't make it pro, or even if they do make it pro, they sign 1-year deals and they just don't make it into the first team. There should be another pathway for them. Hopefully, they're doing a better job with that now.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that might be the case at a few clubs. So I'd like to see that improve, and also like the schoolwork taken a little bit more seriously, because we've done some schoolwork at Wednesday, but it was a bit of a joke, to be honest.
Yeah, like are you talking about day release times?
Yeah, all that stuff. It was not really serious, and I get it. Like the lads that are at the academy don't really want to be doing schoolwork because everyone's in the same mindset that they just want to be a footballer. But I think basically letting the lads know that in reality there's only a few that's going to make it, so you need to make sure that you're taking care of your schoolwork. So if things come about like going to university in America, you're better prepared for that. Or if you go and get a job, you're better prepared. So
yeah, true. So obviously you're talking about non-league, and then you just stopped non-league and then started working for a bit. Like, how did you feel when you started working? Was that you like completely forgetting about the dream of playing football, or what? Or was it just kind of taking over?
I think for maybe a month or so, it was like, I just need a break, because I'd like been in the system for so long, like from a 9-year-old kid all the way up to 19. You know, it was tough, because like there's a lot of pressure, and I just kind of like fell out of love with the game. You know, I just didn't really want to play it. I was just turning up the training just to go through the motions. You know, I wasn't really enjoying it anymore. So I had a few months off, started working again. Then I quickly realised like I need to get back into football. Working in football was no joke. Well, that was not fun. I also done some work at the Marriott Hotel, working as a waiter.
Yeah.
And that, I was getting finished at like 3 a.m. That I was like, this is rough, man. Like I couldn't do that much longer. So I was like, I need to figure out what's going on next. And then that's when I found out about going over to America. So a company reached out and we're just like, you know, we can help you out. You know, we can let you. We can give you options over in the US. Like you can go over there, you can get a degree and play football to a good standard, and you can possibly move on and play pro. So obviously I like the sound of that. And I didn't really have a lot going for me at the time. Like I say, I was like working in a retail store. I was just kind of like, this is a lot better than, you know, going to America is a lot better than what I'm doing right now.
That's true.
So I looked into it and kind of checked out different schools online. And was like blown away. I was like, Jesus, these places are like next level, you know, like the facilities that they've got there, and the opportunity to play at a decent standard. Like it was pretty good standard in D1 in college. Enjoy my football again, better weather, like everything just seemed like a no-brainer. Really, it was like, why would I not want to do this? And I'd moved away from home already, you know what I mean? Like I moved away when I was 16, so I was used to being away from family and stuff. It wasn't like a big jump for me. So I just kind of gambled. I didn't visit the school or nothing. I just looked at it and just thought, I'm going for it, and then I flew out there and just didn't look back really.
That's sick, man. Was it hard to pick the school that you did, or like how many offers did you have and like whatnot?
I had quite a few offers, but High Point were the first school to really show like a desire to get me. They were like, you know, calling me all the time and taking me on like video calls like around the school to show me everything, and they showed that they really wanted us. So they like put a lot of time into recruiting me, which you like to feel wanted, you know what I mean? Like that was a nice feeling. Whereas other schools were like, yeah, we're interested, we'll offer you this, this, and this, and then didn't really get back to me for another few weeks. So I was like, so yeah, I mean, I just decided to go to High Point, and best decision I ever made. Like I loved it there. It was unbelievable school. But yeah, it was difficult to start though, because like when you first hear about going to college, you know nothing about it. I'm sure you were the
Nah.
same. Like you
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
anything about it. I was like, what's D1? What's this conference? I had no idea. What was a good team? What wasn't a good team? So I was just kind of going off pictures, honestly. Like I was looking at like videos and pictures online of the school, and I was like, this is sick. Like I'm gonna, I'm gonna commit to this school. And again, like not just that, it was the coaches that were really recruiting hard and selling the school to me. So and they really looked after me as well. You know, like with like financially, it was a good deal for me. I was coming from a place where like I didn't have a lot of financial backing, because obviously I just left Wednesday. I was like working a job, trying to save some money up to get over there.
Yeah.
And it's expensive. You know how expensive the school is, like how college is in America. So like I need this taken care of. So they did that, and
Yeah.
I promise it's cool.
Leroy, what are you taking?